Dolphins look friendly. They smile, play beside boats, and seem almost human. But that famous smile hides a much darker reality. Dolphins can attack their own kind, form powerful alliances, control rivals, and in some cases, even kill young dolphins. The strangest part? Their intelligence may actually make their social world even more complicated. 1. The dolphin smile isn't a smile. First, there's something you should know. A dolphin isn't smiling at you. That curved mouth is simply the natural shape of its jaw. A dolphin can look happy while hunting, fighting, stressed, or simply swimming. Humans naturally interpret that expression as a smile, and that's one reason dolphins have such a friendly reputation. But behind that expression is a highly intelligent predator with a complicated social life. 2. Dolphins can be extremely aggressive. Here's something most people don't expect. Dolphins can fight. They can bite, chase, ram, and strike other animals with incredible force. Their bodies are built for speed. A powerful tail gives them explosive acceleration, while their rostrum can be used during aggressive encounters. And these fights aren't always random. They can involve competition for food, mates, territory, or social status. So that peaceful-looking pod of dolphins, it can actually contain complicated rivalries. 3. Dolphins can kill calves. Now we get to one of the darkest behaviors, infanticide. Researchers have documented cases where dolphin calves were violently attacked and killed by adult dolphins. Why? One possible explanation involves reproduction. If a female loses her calf, she may eventually become available to mate again. But scientists emphasize that dolphin behavior is complicated, and not every attack has the same explanation. Still, the discovery changes something important. Dolphins aren't always gentle toward their own young. 4. Male dolphins form alliances. This is where dolphins become surprisingly sophisticated. Some male bottlenose dolphins form long-term alliances. Two males may cooperate, then several males can work together. These alliances can help them compete with other males and gain access to females. Researchers studying dolphins in Shark Bay, Australia, have found some of the most complex alliance behavior known in non-human animals. In simple terms, dolphins can have friends, rivals, partners, and enemies. It's almost like politics, except it's happening underwater. 5. Some males control females, but dolphin alliances can have a darker side. Researchers have observed male dolphins cooperating to control the movement of females. Males may herd or guard females, limiting their ability to move freely. This behavior is one reason dolphin societies are much more complicated than the friendly image we often see. Their social relationships aren't always peaceful. Sometimes cooperation is used for competition, and sometimes it's used for control. 6. They also attack other species. And dolphins don't only fight other dolphins. Bottlenose dolphins have also been observed attacking other marine mammals, including harbor porpoises. What's strange is that these attacks aren't necessarily about eating. Animals can attack for many reasons: competition, social conflict, territory, or aggression. So if you see a dolphin attacking another marine mammal, don't automatically assume it's hunting. The reason may be much more complicated. 7. Intelligence doesn't mean kindness. Here's the biggest misconception. People often assume that because dolphins are intelligent, they must also be peaceful. But intelligence doesn't automatically create kindness. Dolphins can cooperate, communicate, remember individuals, and maintain long-term relationships. At the same time, they can compete and behave aggressively. Humans are a perfect example. Intelligence can create cooperation, but it can also create more complicated forms of conflict. And dolphins show something similar. But we've only seen the dark side of dolphins in the wild. There's another side of this story, and this one involves humans. Stay until the end, because this may completely change the way you see dolphins. 8. Dolphins in captivity. Dolphins are built for life in a huge, constantly changing ocean. They travel, hunt, explore, and interact with complex social groups. Now compare that with a tank. Even a large pool is tiny compared with the open ocean. That's why dolphin captivity has become controversial. Researchers have raised concerns about restricted space, social stress, behavioral problems, and the difficulty of recreating the complexity of a natural environment. Not every facility is identical. Some provide extensive veterinary care and enrichment. But one fact remains: a tank can never completely reproduce the ocean. 9. The internet makes dolphins even stranger. You've probably seen crazy stories about dolphins online. Some claim dolphins torture animals for fun. Others say dolphins intentionally get intoxicated. But many viral stories exaggerate what scientists actually know. And the truth is already fascinating enough. We don't need fake stories. Real dolphins already form alliances, compete with rivals, cooperate with partners, and sometimes behave violently. The reality is much more interesting than the myth. 10. The real dark side. So what's the real dark side of dolphins? It's not that dolphins are evil. They're not. They're wild animals. They can be playful. They can be cooperative. They can also be aggressive. And all of those behaviors can exist in the same animal. The most fascinating thing isn't their teeth. It's their social intelligence. They remember individuals, build alliances, compete with rivals, and maintain relationships that can last for years. That makes dolphins far more complicated than the smiling creatures we often imagine. So the next time you see a dolphin jumping through the waves, remember that you're seeing much more than a friendly face. You're seeing a powerful predator with an incredibly complicated social world. And maybe that's what makes dolphins so fascinating. Not because they're perfect, but because they're unpredictable. Which fact surprised you the most? The alliances, the aggression, the attacks on calves, or the darker side of captivity? Tell me in the comments. And if this changed the way you see dolphins, you might never look at that famous smile the same way again.